The annexation of Oregon was supported almost unquestionably both in the government and popular opinion, but it took nearly a decade and as many as 5 presidents for Texas to be approved. Why did it take so long? To find the answer, we need to go back a quarter of a century. In 1821, Mexico won its independence from Spain. Almost immediately, the new nation was embroiled in civil war, and Native American tribes fought for control of the less populated northeastern region. Obviously, Mexico had difficulty attracting settlers into the Northeast. To solve this problem, they loosened their immigration standards and encouraged Americans to settle in the area known today as Texas. Their plan was more successful than they expected, and soon English-speaking Protestant Anglos outnumbered Mexican-born Catholic citizens. Wanting to control their nation's demographics, Mexico's federal government imposed a series of new laws regarding immigration, religion, taxation, cash crops, and most importantly, slavery. The northern residents revolted. After their infamous loss at the Alamo, Texan forces did ultimately defeat Mexican General Santa Anna and declared their independence on March 2, 1836. The Republic of Texas was established as a sovereign nation, but ironically, the first elected president of Texas, Sam Houston, ran on a platform seeking annexation into the United States. U.S. President Andrew Jackson, not wanting to deal with the slave question, ignored Texas for a year. Then on the day before he left office, he officially recognized the Republic. Later in 1837, newly inaugurated President Martin Van Buren flat out declined the Texas proposal for statehood, fearing that it would lead to war with Mexico. His successor, William Henry Harrison, died before taking any action. Meanwhile, debate raged over the Texas problem. Besides the question of slavery, there were several other issues at hand politically.
The people of Texas recognize what a blessing it is to live with democracy and republicanism. They want to be a part of this nation.
But the Texans are not all white people. Why would we want to add inferior races to this great republic?
I tell you, Great Britain is still trying to control us. They want us to get rid of slavery here. We need to act fast and add more slave territory. Texas is just the logical place to do it. But that's the problem. Many of us want to get rid of slavery, not expand it. So we should not add Texas to the Union.
And don't forget, if the Southerners get a new state, they get 2 new votes in the Senate. That would make my vote less important.
We need more land.
But how much land do we really need? And at what expense?
We have a problem. The Texans are a serious rival to our profitable cotton trade with Europe. Let's add them to the country so they become a political ally, not a rival.
If our government is spread too thin, it will become weak.
Or even worse, it'll just get bigger and out of control of the people.
When President Harrison died in 1841, Vice President John Tyler acceded to the office. As it happened, President Tyler was a slave owner who supported Western expansion, and in particular, annexation of Texas. He entered secret negotiations with the Republic and started a public relations campaign to drum up popular support. Evidence suggests that it was Tyler's own administration that started the rumors about Britain's plot to end slavery in America. Regardless, when Tyler brought the treaty before the Senate, it was defeated, and so was Tyler. In the presidential campaign of 1844, James Polk took advantage of the rumors, urging Southerners to defend the institution of slavery and urging Northerners to resist British interference in domestic affairs. He promised to seek statehood for both Texas and the Oregon Territory, providing both slave and free states. Texas was annexed by a joint resolution of Congress after the election, but before Polk actually took office. Congress passed the resolution, and Texas finally became the 28th state on December 29, 1845. Oregon statehood followed in 1849. Interestingly, the United States flag was the 5th of 6 national flags to fly over Texas. The state has been controlled by Spain, France, Mexico, the Republic of Texas, the United States, and later the Confederate States of America. Let's review. After gaining its independence from Mexico, the Republic of Texas sought annexation into the United States, but President Jackson ignored them, President Van Buren turned them down, and President Harrison died on them. Despite political debate over slavery and other issues, President Tyler decided to pursue annexation, but his treaty was ultimately defeated in the Senate. It wasn't until the presidential campaign of 1844 that James Polk proposed adding both Texas and Oregon as states. The measure passed, and Texas was annexed and became a state in 1845.